Today we'll take a look at Batman 181 from 1966, Beware of Poison Ivy. And this is, of course, Poison Ivy's first appearance. This is a facsimile edition. You can read the original edition on the DC app, but if you buy the facsimile edition, you can look at all of the old ads and promotions, and that's a lot of fun. So at the beginning, Bruce Wayne and his young ward, Dick Grayson, attend a pop art show. And for the uninitiated, pop art was famous in the 50s and 60s and was, as the name would suggest, a reflection of popular culture, things that were hip. Think Andy Warhol. Now at this, there's a display of the world's biggest public enemies. Number 1 is Dragonfly, number 2 is Silken Spider, and number 3 is Tiger Moth. Now Poison Ivy pops up at this display. She's not putting up with that. She says she is more beautiful and a better criminal. So Bruce Wayne goes over to talk to her, and he concedes that she is a luscious dreamboat, quote unquote, as he was the 60s man in form. As photographers gather around, she takes out her lipstick, and that sends electrical impulses that cause all of the cameraman's flashbulbs to explode, and that blinds everyone in the room, and she's going to exit stage right. So she's made her appearance, and now she's ready to go because everyone will know about her now. Bruce Wayne changes into Batman. He's never done this in public before, but he can because everybody's blinded, including him. So he takes off after her, even though he can't see, and falls down an elevator shaft, but he makes his way out, and he confronts a group of thugs that she has paid to stop anyone following her. Robin shows up and helps out Batman take care of these bad guys. But now Poison Ivy's been watching this, and she can't decide who she likes more, Bruce Wayne or Batman. So she doesn't know who's who. And that's the end of part 1. But let's just take a second to appreciate the far-out ads and promos in this facsimile edition, a little slice of life from 1966. There's a little beat poetry extolling the virtues of DC Comics from a cat who has been suffocating in Squaresville. Okay, and then there's also an ad for Swing with Scooter. Scooter is a Beetle clone, and this issue is just about to come out when this issue was published, and this ran for 36 issues. I had never heard of this. It ran from 1966 to 1972. And now I just got to find it. I'm a huge Beatles fan, so I got to check in on what Scooter's been up to. For apparently he came across aliens and came across Batman and Superman, as one would expect. And then we have a Rocky and Bullwinkle's Cheerio ad. And then there is a glorious 2-page poster of Batman and Robin in the middle of this issue. And I may have to get another copy of this facsimile edition. I'm sure there's not a lot of pristine copies of this issue because probably everybody tore that poster out and hung it up. I'm going to get another copy, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I love that. There should be more of that these days. Okay, so then back to Beware of Poison Ivy Part 2. Oh, but first let's take a look at Batman's Crime Hunt A Go-Go. This was in a preview of upcoming issues of DC Comics. So yeah, in Beware of Poison Ivy Part 2, Batman and Robin have dispensed with the thugs, and Batman is now smitten with Poison Ivy. She's worked her charms on him, and Robin's all, slow your roll, daddy-o. So he's trying to keep him under control. Meanwhile, Poison Ivy is sending out letters to the top 3 villains as them, sending them to each other as each other, challenging them to fight. And also invites Bruce Wayne and Batman to fight for her. So Batman and Robin take the Batcopter to Poison Ivy's place and see that there are dozens of criminals fighting. So Poison Ivy's just going to get everybody to duke it out so that she can be the last one standing there, and she doesn't even have to get involved. So they parachute in from the Batcopter and start kicking bad guy tail. Dragonfly, Silken Spider, and Tiger Moth decide this is a good time to skedaddle. But wouldn't you know it, Poison Ivy has a crown for whichever one of them is the most evilest. They all dive for it, not knowing that it's electrified. She had been wearing gloves, so she didn't get electrified, of course. And Poison Ivy makes a crack about them all dancing a frug. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. F-R-U-G. Had to look that one up too. It's a 60s dance craze. Look at that. Really groovy. It's about what you would expect from 60s dance, from Austin Powers and all those things that you've seen. And so, thinking that Bruce Wayne didn't show up, she gives Batman a smooch. And she, of course, has drugged lipstick on. But Robin snaps Batman out of it. Poison Ivy climbs a wall to try to escape, but Batman whaps her with a batarang, and they lock her away for now. And the last panel reads basically like an episode of the Batman TV show, and you know she's going to turn back up again, which of course she did. Now there's another story in this issue, but it's not really that great. But of course the draw here is to see the origin of Poison Ivy, and I think she acquitted herself very well there in her first appearance. So thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, share this, and we'll see you on the next one. Tell me what you'd like to see. We'll look into the origins of other characters as we go along.